Hello everyone and welcome to Rapture. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a review of the Red Table Co. Apollos. Now these things are awesome. If you're here, you've probably heard of them before. But I didn't get a chance to unbox these. I didn't quite have my video set up yet. So I'm just going to let you guys know, first of all, what came in the package. So obviously, the beads came in the package, but if you didn't know, well, first of all, here's the box. Awesome little Red Table logos all over the place. Red Table Co. Be different. What's the word I'm looking for? Motto. That's terrible. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you get it. Oh, slogan. There you go. The slogan. Be different. Red Table Co. right here on the back. And when you open this guy up, nice sturdy box. Besides the beads, it came with these hardware, because these beads are modular, they do open up. So this is hardware to keep the beads together, screw the beads together. These awesome Red Table Co. logo stickers. Also came with, I don't recall, maybe I want to say 3 or 4 strings. These two, along with the red one that I used to actually string it up. But yes, all my paracords sort of mixed together in this giant pile, so I'm not quite sure which came with it and which didn't. But these were pretty easy to distinguish, and I'll talk about that more in a second. And then also, just a little tool, a little Allen wrench, so that you can easily put the hardware in, take them apart, put them back together, things like that. And just the foam padding in the box. It was pretty nice setup when they came. They came disassembled, so the 4 modules, the 2 top portions and the 2 bottom portions, were sort of on display when you open the box. So that is that. And now let's just go ahead and talk about these guys. First of all, these guys are awesome. Like, I'm not really going to say a whole lot bad about them because they're just awesome. The first thing I noticed is that the paracord that came on these is just extremely soft, very high quality paracord. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience with different types of paracord. I'm not really sure, some of them are made out of different materials or different weaves, things like that. But these are awesome. They're very thick, about 550 paracord, I'd say, and they're just really soft. They sort of feel like this is gross to say, but they sort of feel like they're played with already. Like the paracord feels like not sticky or nasty in any way, but they just sort of have that broken in feeling, like they've been used enough. A lot of paracord when it comes right out of the packaging is very stiff and hard, and these were not like that at all. And all of them feel like that. That's really how I distinguished them when I was digging them out of the pile. The weave looks a little bit more close knit than some of my other paracord, and it's just very soft. I could tell right away that these were the Red Table Co's. So there's that. The next thing that I noticed is that they're pretty light. They're relatively light. I've heard people say, oh, let's bring out my scale and I can sort of show you guys what I'm talking about. So I've heard people say that they're too light. That I don't agree with, but it's all personal preference. So what's too light for someone someone else might not be too light for me, obviously. But yeah, I'm gonna bring these in just for comparison. These are my Around Square Titans titanium with 550 paracord, and these guys show up as 34.5. Let's try that again just to make sure we got it right. Yeah, 34.5. So 34.5 grams on these guys, and the Apollos come in at 22.8. One more time just to make sure. Yeah, 22.8. So yes, they are relatively light compared to these behemoths here. But I prefer my Begleri a little on the lighter side. At least right now. I'm fairly new to Begleri still. I'm not the greatest, but I have noticed when I use heavier sets like the Titans for a long time, my hands get kind of sore. So maybe that'll change with time as I get more practice, but I'm fond of lighter sets at the moment. And what's cool about these, again, I've already mentioned this, is that they're modular. So there is going to be weight options in the future. The creator of these did make that very clear. He's going to have weight options for these. So we can customize, if you want them heavier, if you want them lighter, etc. You're going to be able to do that. And he hasn't said a whole lot about what the, sort of how the weight options are going to come into play. They could be, in the form of, different shapes of the modules. They could be different materials. They could be inserts that go inside the modules. Who knows? I haven't heard him say a whole lot about what they're going to be, but there is going to be weight options in the future, which is awesome. What I want to do actually is just sort of open one of these guys up and just show you, sort of show you what's going on the inside. So give me just a second here. Try not to lose anything. All right. I think I forgot to mention this, but whoops. But another thing that's awesome and unique about these is that there's a bearing inside that sits right on the knot. So that acts as sort of a washer, sort of like a bead or a bearing in kendama. For those of you who are familiar with it, it keeps your string from getting tangled up as this rotates. And I can say that it definitely does its job. It serves its purpose very well. Like I said, I'm not that good, so I hit my hands a lot. Well, I guess if you're pushing yourself to do new tricks, you probably hit your hands a lot. But for example, sometimes I would try to swing the beads back around this way, and I would sort of clip my knuckle, and I could actually hear the bearings spinning. So yes, they're definitely doing their job. Instead of it spinning and taking that string with it and sort of winding it all up, there's that bearing there to sort of save the day. Another reason I wanted to take these apart is I kind of wanted to show you guys how they go back together very nicely. The one thing that a little tricky is to just lining up the holes, but I think maybe he could have done a better job of sort of having them click into place before you put the screws in, but it works. It works just as well as it needs to. And one thing that I really liked about this right off the bat I noticed is the shape of these little bevels here on the beads, where the screws go in. They really help guide the screws into place. Like, you just sort of just place them, drop them there, and they slide right in. Like, there's no slack there. You can't miss. Like, it's very easy to do. It's not cumbersome. It doesn't, sort of make me not want to take them apart to avoid putting them back together. So, just little things like that. Like, it's very precise. And I think that's awesome. I really appreciate it. I will say about these screws is I had them loosen up on me once, but I can't blame him for that. It's probably my fault. When I first got them, I was sort of scared of screwing them too tight and stripping them because I don't want to ruin them. These guys are $60, so they are certainly the most expensive Begleri that I have bought. But I think they're well worth it. Again, I can't blame him for the screws. That's my issue for not tightening them down enough. I think it hasn't happened to me again since, and I've been playing with them for quite a while now. I would take a guess and say maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, these things are awesome. I do like the shape. I sort of like how angular they are. I like sort of how aggressive they look. That's attractive to me. But we'll say these are very, not sharp in the sense that they're going to cut you, but they're very angular, as opposed to something like Titans where they're really round. Um, they do have very sharp angles on them, so they're gonna hit each other, and they are gonna do some damage. Like they're pretty rough on each other. So these are black. You can see where sort of the anodization is chipping away. But I did realize that most of that happened like in the first couple days, and then it plateaued. Like they hit each other consistently, sort of in the same spots. So once that wears off, like they pretty much just stay that way. I mean, I'm sure they'll age more, but I can't imagine them getting too beat up. But all things considered, like they still look great. They're holding up well, and they play awesome. About the play, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I'm not that good, so I don't want to do anything dumb on camera. But about the play, they are light. I mentioned that earlier, but they play a lot heavier than they actually are. I don't really mean that they feel heavy. I just mean that they carry the momentum of sort of a heavier set. They carry momentum very well. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Maybe it's the shape that does it. I don't know much about physics, but sort of, I think the shape lends itself to carry momentum very well. So yes, they are light, but I don't think that hinders their play at all. I have heavier sets that sort of feel lighter than this guy in play, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. These guys are awesome. If you're interested, if you're on the fence, I definitely say get them. They're well worth the money, and I can't wait to see what sort of modules and add-ons these guys have in store for the future. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope this was helpful for you. So if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more. So thank you guys very much.